Hey everyone, welcome back to Daily Dollars. Today, we're covering breaking news that's been making waves. A potential $5,000 DOGE dividend payout and sweeping federal tax cuts that might reshape how much money you get to keep in your pocket. If you've been wondering whether more government relief is on the horizon or how these new proposals could directly affect your Social Security, your taxes, or your day-to-day budget, this video is for you. So, before we dive in, hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to Daily Dollars for the latest updates on Social Security. Alright, let's get into it. First, let's set the stage. President Donald Trump and current Republican leadership have been pushing what they're calling a big, beautiful bill, a sweeping economic plan that aims to make major reforms in taxes, border security, energy, and federal spending. According to House Speaker Mike Johnson, this bill is designed to deliver real financial relief to American households while also tightening the budget and addressing the national deficit. But there's a challenge. Even with Republican control in both the House and the Senate, their margin is very slim. Passing major legislation like this requires unity, and right now, there's still some division within the party about where the money should go and how much of it should be spent. One of the main features of this proposal is a renewed push to make the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act permanent. That act originally lowered taxes for individuals and businesses, but many of those benefits were set to expire. Under the new plan, most of those cuts would be extended, although there's talk of raising the top tax rate slightly from 37% to 39.6% to help balance the books. In return, the government is promising to eliminate federal taxes on overtime income, tips, and even Social Security benefits, a big move that could mean real dollars back in the hands of American workers and retirees. For decades, millions of retirees have had to pay taxes on the very benefits they spent their working lives earning. This proposal could make Social Security income entirely tax-free. This idea isn't just about easing financial stress. It's about fairness. Many Americans feel it's unjust to pay income tax on Social Security after already contributing to the system through payroll taxes their entire working lives. Removing federal taxes on these benefits would allow retirees to keep more of their money, helping them better manage rising living costs, especially during times of high inflation. These are promises that have been made before, but this time they seem to be baked directly into the legislative package being drafted. And there's more. There's growing talk of expanding the state and local tax deduction, which would benefit residents in high-tax states. This, combined with targeted tax relief for working-class Americans, signals a pivot toward policies aimed at stimulating consumer spending and relieving everyday financial stress. Now, let's talk about the part that's caught a lot of attention, the so-called DOGE dividend. This was a proposed payout rumored to be as high as $5,000 per person for up to 80 million Americans. Originally floated as a one-time economic boost, many believed it would function similarly to previous stimulus checks, possibly funded through federal savings or strategic debt expansion. While this plan was once discussed as a near certainty, it's now being reconsidered. Instead of direct cash payouts, a large portion of the $1.5 trillion in projected federal savings may be redirected to cover tax eliminations and other economic reforms. That doesn't necessarily mean the idea of financial relief is dead. It just may look different than originally advertised. Instead of a $5,000 check landing in your mailbox, the benefit could come in the form of lower taxes, increased take-home pay, and higher Social Security payouts due to tax exemptions. Here's where things get interesting. In order to fund these sweeping changes, Republican leadership is proposing to raise the national debt ceiling by roughly $5.3 trillion. Yes, that's a massive number, but they argue it's a necessary step to keep the country financially afloat while investing in policies they believe will lead to long-term savings and growth. According to Speaker Mike Johnson, the government hopes to save $1.5 trillion through these initiatives, money that would partially offset the new spending. However, many fiscal experts caution that real savings depend heavily on economic performance, spending discipline, and bipartisan cooperation, something that's often in short supply in Washington. So where does this leave us? We're looking at a proposal that aims to both cut taxes and raise the debt ceiling, while simultaneously pledging to make smart investments in the economy. Whether or not that math will work out remains to be seen, but the political will to push something big through Congress is definitely there. So, what does all this mean for you? If you're working a job that includes overtime or tips, or if you're receiving Social Security, there's a good chance you'll see a financial benefit if this legislation passes. If you're in a higher tax bracket, expect some small adjustments. And for the average American, the biggest shift may be the absence of direct relief checks instead. Your relief may come through reduced taxation and expanded deductions. Of course, all of this is still in motion. Legislation takes time, and although the goal is to start moving the bill before the 4th of July, there are many negotiations yet to be finalized. That's it for today. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a beat. Thanks for watching Daily Dollars. I will see you in the next video.